Hello and hi, welcome to Yedidia Shofet.net and welcome to Halacha of the week number 13. So, today's question is a multiple question which I'll actually hold off till next week. However, I want to give you a little information so you know what I'm talking about for next week. The question of today is, what does a doorway need in order that it is affixed a mezuzah? Meaning that you want to put a mezuzah in a doorway, but which doorways are applicable? So there are several conditions in order to actually put a mezuzah on a doorway and in order that you should say a blessing. And we'll go through these conditions. Number one, in order for the doorway to need a mezuzah and for a beracha, the conditions are, one, it has to be a 5.5 by 5.5 foot room. Meaning the room actually has to be a room in which you could fit into. It's not just like a safe that you just put a mezuzah on. People actually do that for certain rooms in which that they want to have a shemirah, that they want to actually have a watchful eye, but I'm not talking about those type of rooms because those type of rooms aren't exactly affiliated with this halacha. Nevertheless, a room which is 5.5 feet by 5.5 feet. Number two, the door to the room, it has to have 2 doorposts and a lintel, meaning that a lot of times you just see hallways which there's just an opening. That is not considered as a doorpost. A doorpost, for instance, if you go to Home Depot or you go to any of these places that sell doors, you'll see there's something that sticks out from the side, and on the top also another thing that comes down. This is called the lintel, this is called the doorpost. On the doorposts themselves, that's why mezuzah is called a doorpost. That's where the mezuzah is affixed. So you have to have those things. Next, the room in which that you're going to put the mezuzah, the room that you're going to actually walk into, it must be a room that has a roof. If it doesn't have a roof, you don't actually say a beracha, and also you affix the mezuzah in which that it comes into the house, not out of the house. But that's a different thing. The next one, there has to be a door along with the doorpost. Not just a hallway that has a lintel and doorposts, but an actual door. As that is the full completion of the whole idea of opening up a door, closing the door, and having the mezuzah over there. Another one is that the actual doorpost, it shouldn't be like a trap door. It should actually be an actual door, 4 or 5 feet at least, where you open up the door and you can go through. Not like a 2-foot door which you have to crawl through. That's not socially acceptable. And of course, the room itself has to be a room which is socially acceptable. You cannot put a mezuzah up on a bathroom door. That's not a socially acceptable room. And finally, the place in which that you're putting the mezuzah, it should be a place in which that it's a permanent dwelling. Meaning a house, not a sukkah, not a tent, not something in which that you're just going to use for a little bit and then that's it, move on. So then the question is, what about if you're going to rent out a home for a little bit? So if you are going to rent out a home for more than 30 days, then you do have to put on a mezuzah on that home. Even though it's not technically a permanent dwelling place, but anything more than 30 days is considered as a permanent dwelling place. So that is the conditions that you need in order for you to affix a mezuzah and in order to have a beracha when you put on the mezuzah. However, if it's missing a couple of these, then you only put on a mezuzah without a beracha, and it's still, there are many technicalities. That's why you should ask your rabbi when it comes to each situation of its own, but this is just a guideline as to what doors need a mezuzah or not. God willing, next week I'll go through a couple interesting examples of what places need a mezuzah, what places don't. And I want to wish you a beautiful day, and I'll see you tomorrow for Jewish Wisdom, week number 13.